Hello and welcome everyone to another episode of Decked Up, a Steam Deck gaming tech, and I guess ASUS ROG. I gotta rename this podcast because I don't want to have this podcast be stuck with just Steam Deck. I want to be able to talk tech, gaming, and so much more. Anyways, so again, let me redo that intro. Hello everyone, welcome to Decked Up, a gaming and tech podcast. Yeah, because that flows a lot better. But it doesn't mean we're not going to talk Steam Deck. And actually, the purpose of today's podcast is something that popped in my head last night, and it popped in my head while I was, I was high because, well, no, I don't smoke weed, but I do take, edible gummies. And so I took some and this thought popped in my head and I was thinking, I was like, okay, one of the big benefits of the ASUS ROG Ally is the pricing and what it does in forcing all the other competitors, the Chinese made competitors like AOK Zoe and Ioneo and all these others that are out there, it forces them to have to lower their price to compete, you know? And okay, we're going to dive a little bit more into this because I think there's more meat on the bones of this because I've been going through the comments of the last podcast episode I put up because you guys have been amazing. The feedback, is actually something because a lot of the comments, which is interesting, a lot of the comments were saying like, hey, a lot of the Steam Deck fanboys are really threatening, before anyone got the pricing on the AOK, well, not the AOK Zoe, but the ASUS ROG Ally, everyone's like, oh, this is guaranteed going to be $1,000 and da 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 da. And then, y'all were saying like the Steam Deck YouTubers were doom and gloom. And then when they came out, it's like, oh, but it's not going to be this because, it's got windows and all this other stuff. And how the goalposts kept shifting, every time you turn around with the Steam Deck YouTubers. And it's true. I saw a lot of the goalpost shifting, and I laughed at it because I understand. I had a lot of you guys in the comment section were asking why the Steam Deck YouTubers were like making these claims, or trying to like fear monger and bash on the ROG Ally, and it's simple. I'll tell you why. Let me come closer. Let me get the camera and let me explain to you why they're doing that. It's very simple because their bread and butter, their meal ticket has been the Steam Deck. That's what it is. That y'all up in my face right now. It's been that. It's that. That's the reason. The thread by it. Because it's like the same thing with the people that base their whole thing off of their whole branding, their channel and everything like that off the Nintendo Switch. After a while, like, okay, you look at a lot of the biggest Nintendo Switch creators out there, RGT85, Beat 'em Up Woods, all, well, they've kind of ventured into other areas, granted, but when they started out, when a lot of these people started off before they became rich or wealthy or well off with the Nintendo Switch, they were covering every game that came out and praising every game. Anyone remember when they were praising Mr. Shifty or, Snake Pass, or when they were pushing Has Been Heroes or any of these like everything Switch they were promoting and pushing. I mean, 8-bit Eric or ABE right now. Like, I know these folks. Like, that's the crazy thing. So they built that brand, but the difference between them and the Steam Deck folks is they shifted their content and got away from just being like trapped within having to do just Nintendo Switch. I mean, look at Spawn Wave, look at, RGT85, look at Beat 'em Up Woods, Wolfden. It really, I mean, he wasn't really a Steam Deck or not a Steam Deck, but a Switch creator exclusively. But, look at these folks and look at how they've been able to expand their brands. The Steam Deck folks, a lot of them, their thing is once the Steam Deck isn't the hot topic relevant item, they got to do something to keep you clicking on their stuff because what else are they going to do? Of course they're going to cover the competitor, but they're going to find a slant to knock it at the same time. So, you got to understand that. Again, I feel like a lot of people tend to miss the things of what I'm saying. They're like, "Oh, you're a hater because you're a smaller creator." Well, look, I got 20,000 plus subscribers. That's not small. Even if you've got 1,000 subscribers, like maybe you watch YouTubers that got millions and you may feel some type of way, like, yeah, they're big, blah, 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 blah. But let me play a clip for you from my good friend, History Behind the Warrior, and he'll explain to you why that doesn't really matter, because your sub count and your view count don't always line up, and it's not really that important. But the fact that if you can get 1,000 subscribers at the bare minimum and go up beyond that, that's no small feat. It's not easy. Like, it's easier to get into content creating now, but the bar is lower because there's so many people in it. But it's so hard to stand out now because, equipment, software, everything has made it so much easier. So everyone's hopping into it. But again, how long are people going to stick with it? So going back to my point with the Steam Deck, folks, again, this is not aimed at anyone in particular because people think I'm targeting certain Steam Deck creators. I am not. There's a thing with being, you can criticize it and people think you're hating, and I'm not. But that's what it is. That's exactly what that is as to why people are making these fear-mongering things. You'll see very few that are straight down the middle and can call it without bias, and then you see the ones that just, they got the pro Steam Deck, anti everything else, like and that was a comment I had. Someone's like, you know the Steam Deck and Linux fanboys are like rabid, animals. Like, they want to attack anything that's not Steam Deck, and it's true, and it's sad, and it's unnecessary. But yeah, Asus ROG Ally being a competitor out there, it is something that's eaten into the market. It will eat into the market of the Steam Deck. But as I said in the last podcast, it will not overtake the Steam Deck, which is something a lot of people don't seem to get. They're thinking, oh, well, it's not going to be good because it's Windows, blah, blah. You mother truckers are already putting Windows on your Steam Deck to play the games that the Steam Deck can't run. So I don't know. Anyway, let me get to my point before I trail off into a whole tangent. So the beauty of the ROG Ally coming out at the price of $599 and $699, the beauty of that is anything else that comes out, be it from AOK Zoe or Aya Neo or the upcoming stuff from Acer or from Alienware, if they decide to finally release the product that they showed years ago before the Steam Deck was ever announced, or anyone else, is, if they're going to put it out, it has to be at $599 or $699, and it needs to be in stores if it's going to be in that marketplace. Because if it's more than that, it's going to be, the Steam Deck is already niche. It's mainstream niche, but it's niche nonetheless. But when you're looking at something that's going to be the prices of the Aya Neo, the AOK Zoes, and all these other $1,000+ devices, you're really getting into territory where it's like, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, your everyday consumer is not going to be going out there trying to get their hands on that. And that's something that these companies, it's a great thing for all the people fear mongering and angry or saying that, oh, they lied to us, all the other bull crap that's been out there. I gotta, and kids right there, I can't really swear, but all the nonsense that is out there, you have to look at the fact that this new device has helped relegate this market. Steam, Valve, with the Steam Deck, they set the bar at $399. Nobody's competing with that, right? And it is first to market. It's not the first to market. I mean, I've seen like Wolfden and many others say the Steam Deck is the first one, blah, 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 blah. No, it's not. It's the first commercially and mainstream successful portable gaming PC. And it's basically boosted up the entire market. You've had competitors, GPD Win, INEO, they've been out there and they're constantly releasing devices, which is something that is not good because you're constantly pumping out something. What are people going to be able to hang on to tangibly? You know what I mean? So the ROG Ally at the price and performance that it has, yeah, it's got issues with Windows 10 or not 10. Damn, I say Windows 10, Windows 11, but they're going to iron it out. And Microsoft is already working on a more optimized mobile handheld portable gaming variation or functionality for Windows 11. But the ROG Ally coming out at the price point, $599, $699, offering the 2 power options that it does. That right there is great for the entire market. So anyone else coming out is going to have to fill and fit into that range. And if they go above it, they can only go so much above it before it's like, hey, this is not going to be, at that point, you're already in, high-end gaming laptop and desktop, pre-built forums or the marketplace. So that is something that is great that the ASUS ROG Ally has done by being in existence. And now, I know I touched on this before, but when people were saying like they lied because the performance is not that much better than the Steam Deck, but when you look at, like I said before, 800p that can do 60 FPS most of the time, but more so within the golden 40 or 30 FPS at the bare minimum, with dips below that, versus a device that is 1080p and can go up to 120 hertz, that can run 60 hertz, or 120 FPS or 60 FPS easily, and then can easily do 30 FPS. That is 1, better performance, 2, better resolution, right? So yeah, it's a great thing overall. I just wanted to say that, like, this is helping out the market as it is something that everyone benefits from. And that's the thing is, I know I gotta go because she popped up and she's like, yeah, it's time, Dad. It's time, wrap up all your recording because I'm recording a bunch of stuff today to make content for the rest of the week. But anyways, it's great overall. Hold on, baby, I'm almost done. It's great overall for the market because everyone gets to eat. That's when everyone gets options. Everyone gets the opportunity to, pick the device you want. And ultimately, it comes down to play what you want on the device you want to. If you love the Steam Deck, get the Steam Deck or play on the Steam Deck. If you want to try something new, get the ROG Ally, get the upcoming AOK Zoe or one of the multitude of INEO devices or GPD Win devices. Get whatever works for you. Or if you want to just stick with console gaming, or you want something that's convertible, kind of like the Switch, then yeah, I said convertible. Then play on that. Or if you want something like the Analog Pocket, or if you're into mobile gaming, then do that. Play how you want to play it. Stop letting people dictate to you how you should be playing your games. Because at the end of the day, any of us that are influencers, our job is just really to talk about the devices. And if we're getting paid by somebody to like, hey, promote it, you should get this so you can put money into my my wallet. Now, I've done paid promotions before, but I do them in a commercial sense. Like, it's a 2-minute paid commercial that goes into a video. Anything else, like when we get products, and that's something else I kind of want to touch on before we go, because a lot of people they're like, oh, you're saying this because you got paid to, or because of this, because of that. And it's like, okay, here's the thing. FCC regulation. A lot of people don't apparently understand that. If a company sends you a product, you're required by federal law, and I'm speaking for people who live here in the United States, you're required by federal law to disclose that you were sent this product. Like, I'm reviewing this controller for Riot Power. I've also got this headset that came in from Steel Series. I'm reviewing these, and they didn't pay me, but what they did do is they sent me the product. And because they sent me the product, I'm required by federal law to disclose that I received it. Now, they don't have any other control over like seeing it before you guys or what goes into it. It's they send it to me because they feel that I have a level of influence or other creators have a level of influence. People are going to watch the video. All we got to do is give our honest opinion, or we should be giving our honest opinion, and then it goes from there. Now, if it was a paid promotion, you'd see an ad spot. Like if you watch anything from like Elias Tech Tips or any of these other folks, or Harris Heller, you already know what a paid promotion looks like. It pops in. It's usually a minute, three, most 3, maybe 4 minutes, if they're big enough and people don't care. But that's what it is. But people like say, "Oh, you're paid, you're paid." Well, mother trucker, where the hell is the goddamn check at? You got it? If you know where it is, bring it over there, because I gotta buy diapers. It's the thing. I get sick of it. It's funny when people have a creator that's got, you know, 30, 40, 50 or more thousand subscribers. They don't have a problem with them say, "Hey, I got this device sent to me." But you have someone 20,000 below, then people are like, "Oh, you're paid." Okay, if I'm paid, you need to go, do your detective, you know, MacGyvering and go find that damn check and get it over here so I can put it in the bank account, because I didn't get paid. Anyways, that's me going off into tangents. I gotta stop. So, all that being said, that's all I wanted to say. This is a shorter episode of Decked Up. I wanted to get this out to you guys. Hopefully, y'all found some of importance in this. If y'all enjoyed it, if you're watching the video version on YouTube, like, share, comment, all that stuff that YouTube likes. Helps with the algorithm, helps with the channel. And if you need to pick up any games for Steam, or if you want to pick up any equipment or hardware, I got links to everything down in the description. It helps out. It helps me buy diapers. It's part of the job. Other than that, if you're listening on Spotify, or if you're listening on Apple Music or Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, any of these other podcast platforms, then, follow for one, share it around, like it, interact with it on the podcasting platform you're using, and go about your day. All that being said, I'm Mikhail Casanova signing out. This is a short one. We're going to dive back into more stuff on Friday, but yeah, I'll see y'all around. Stay safe, be blessed, have aloha, and yeah, I got to get up on out of here. I'll see y'all around. Peace.